Good morning, everybody. This is Cheryl at Cheveria Travel, and you are watching Talk Travel with Cheryl. Sorry, there's a long pause there. No, I'm not having any audio problems again. Welcome. If this is the first time that you're here, if you're here on Facebook, like us, comment. We love to hear your questions and concerns. If you're on YouTube, like us, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell there. That way, when I post these videos and more, you'll get it firsthand in your email or on your cell phones and all that. A little bit about myself and why this particular show is very important. Many people do not know I have multiple disabilities. I'm type 1 diabetic since age of 12 and have, as an adult, became legally blind, went on dialysis, had a kidney transplant, have a couple of toes amputated. I used a scooter or wheelchair from time to time. I have diabetic feet, I'm very anemic, and I walk the walk and talk the talk. I went into this business after I became disabled because I found many tour operators, cruise lines, destinations, etc., that didn't have information about inclusions for people with disabilities. They in the beginning years ago, they just skirted by just saying, well, we're ADA compliant, and that was the end of it. I mean, as long as you're ADA compliant, you're not breaking the law, but inclusive to travel is very important. And I'm out there to try to find, with your help, because I don't know everything that's out there. I know about and the growing services out there for people planning their trips who are disabled, whether you're blind, in a wheelchair, deaf, etc. And planning your trip is the most important part of going on vacation, because let's face it, it's a joy to go on vacation. It's a pleasure. It's also a luxury. Not everybody can go. I realize people with disability have limited funds when they're traveling, but guess what? Many people nowadays with disabilities work. We've worked for years. We have jobs. We're business entrepreneurs. And sometimes we are shut out because people think, oh, you're disabled. You can't do anything. And till this day, many people feel that way. Some people feel sheltered depending on their lifestyle and growing up and didn't get the proper training. Some have not. If they grew up with the ADA, they know and understand and try to make a difference. Well, I'm here to do that and educate you. And this past week, I was very lucky to attend and be invited to attend the Travelability Summit that was held at the Tampa Convention Center in downtown Tampa, Florida. And I was originally going to attend virtually, but the creator, the founder, Jake Steinman, who will be on my show within the next 2 or 3 weeks to discuss this Travelability Summit, his brainchild. And also, I have a lot of connections that will be on my show as well. Some of the things I'll be discussing today. And again, I'm live. This show is being recorded for Facebook, for Instagram, for YouTube, and for podcast streaming. So please share this information if it's for you to learn about, especially other travel agents. Or, in fact, if you are somebody with a disability, a parent, somebody who wants to travel more independently, please do so. And there was a lot of, of course, long-haired discussions there about statistics and numbers. And some of the numbers are very enlightening because before and during COVID, people with disabilities are traveling. I mean, at least 20% of Americans have a disability. 1 in 4 Americans, United States, Black, white, all spectrums, there's 20% of us that have a disability are not going to, various, it can be invisible, because I'm sure you people didn't know I was disabled, or visible disabilities where you could see somebody using a wheelchair, a walker, and it's hundreds and thousands of different disabilities out there, and we need to know, when planning a trip, what to ask for, what to look for. And like I mentioned, it is a lot to do, and I love doing it. And yes, I service all clients, but my brainchild is working with people with disabilities. I do not any longer say special needs, because people that have a disability are just like you and me. We're not special. We're just regular people who have differences about us. I also do people with health issues. Health issues and special needs are two different things. Health issues can be somebody that have celiac disease, diabetes, heart disease, other things that can prevent you from traveling, or you need to plan more because you have medication, dietary issues. Even somebody with a religious food dietary needs is very important these days, because we see all the allergies out there. We see all the food restrictions out there. We want to eat healthier. We want to eat, be around longer. And that being said, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So like I said, 1 in 4 people have a disability. Baby boomers are the growing demographics who will become more and more disabled as they get older. But we still love to travel. I am almost on that edge. I'm right on the edge of a baby boomer. I was born in 1967, so that's at that cutoff point. And our age group is, and that's where my demographics are, the baby boomers and maybe Generation X. I think that's the one right below me. That is primarily the service or the clients that I service. But if you have a child, if you're a parent, if you're a younger adult that wants to use Echeverria travel, we will not discriminate. But I'm just letting you, the primary client that we mostly attract are 40 and up, or empty nesters, or single. Those people that do not have children, that want to travel more, that want to see the world and enjoy it maybe a little longer, or have different higher expectations of their trip, etc. We'll get into that, and I've gone into that in past shows. So anyway, moving onward. Some of the people that I've met during my time at Tampa, and I was on 2 panels. First of all, I was on a panel to discuss attractions, maybe things like theme parks, hotel, museums, etc. We had one person who was in a wheelchair, and she also dealt with autism. We had somebody like myself who is blind, and all the needs that we were talking about when planning a trip to the attractions. And I mentioned that somebody being blind, it's more that we need not so much hand holding. I'm not going to go there because I don't want to insult anybody, but we need more inclusions. It's nice that, you have things brailled. It's nice that, there might be an app to that. But example, my favorite place in the world is Walt Disney World. And leaving here, Central Florida, people say, what's the most place I'm at all the time? It's Walt Disney World, because it's just that big and things change all the time. And I just love Mickey Mouse, and I'm over 50 where I love Walt Disney World. That being said, it's not the easiest place to get around. Walking around, yes, I do go sighted guide. Sometimes I use a white cane. And yes, 9 out of 10 times, somebody that is blind will travel with somebody else. Not saying that you can't do it by yourself, but I'm just saying 9 out of 10. Hey, even if we have a blind partner traveling with us, we don't like to travel by ourselves. We're just like everybody else who wants to travel with friends and family and enjoy the trip. that being said, anyway, and I found out at the Travelability Summit, there is a new service out there that's been created by Michael May, and it's a LiDAR program that you go in and if you've seen it, I know I've seen on National Geographic when they're LiDARing the Amazon rainforest and other areas on the ground, and they show where the Amazons were and how big the rain, the Incas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If they could do, the explorationists can do this with the Amazon, why can't they just do it with Walt Disney World? What this would do is to scan the resort. Let's say you're at Magic Kingdom, and it would scan the whole area. And it would tell you in your app that you're 5 feet away from a bathroom, you're 10 feet away from the Haunted Mansion, you're on Main Street, USA. Yeah, you're on Main Street, USA, but what store are you at? Are you at the ice cream parlor? It doesn't give you on their handheld device that they have at Walt Disney World, does not give you these items. They'll say it's in the area, but where is it? And this is something that can be put into an app that you can use as somebody who's blind or is dyslexic or whatever, that you need this program. Because let's face it, people who are dyslexic read backwards. They can't read the signs like we do. And it's almost like being legally blind because they need services that will help them get around. So when you're thinking about visual disabilities, you also have to think about dyslexia as well. So I plan and hope to have Michael May on my show in the future. The other person that I am learning from a lot, and travel agents, we learn from each other, and there's no reason why we can't. And no, we're not all after getting each other's clients and all that. Miss Christy Druso, and she was living here in Florida, but now lives in San Antonio, Texas, and she will be on my show in a couple of weeks. And she's a travel agent who happens to be in a wheelchair, and she specializes with people that are disabled, that travel in a wheelchair. And also she has a son who is autistic, and we'll be discussing that. And one of the interesting things that we had discussed at the summit when it was brought up, and this is something for you all to think about, is especially somebody who has a mobile disability, and you want to go to the beach. Let's say you're going to an all-inclusive resort, and it's wheelchair accessible, but you can't get to the beach. Well, my husband is not in a wheelchair. He may soon be one of these days because he has a bad back and this and that, but you never know. But the resorts do not carry beach wheelchairs, and you have to ask yourself why. If your resort is wheelchair or a ADA compliant, why not just get a couple of beach wheelchairs, invest in them, so that way, my husband could go in the water and in the beach, but I can't because I have to go out and pay for a beach wheelchair or rent one. I know Andrew Garnett will probably be wagging his finger at me, and he's been on my show before for Special Needs Group, and he does rent them out. But you have to bring that wheelchair with you to the destination. On a cruise ship, if you're on a cruise ship, you're not only renting a regular scooter or wheelchair, but you're going to rent a beach wheelchair. It's important to invest in your clients, especially those with disabilities, because we're a growing number out there, and we want to travel, we want to use your products, we want to be part of the whole package and not be an outcast. So when we're saying inclusions, if you have a thought about this, we'd like to hear about how you feel that, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Should we have to pay for a beach wheelchair to get around on the beach? Shouldn't it be inclusive, especially if the people that you're traveling with can go on the beach and have a great time, but you're sitting on the sidelines and can't go into the beach? There are beach wheelchairs out there. Many of our public beaches, like in Clearwater, Tampa, uh, at least here in Florida, I know many destinations here in Florida that you can rent them out for the day at the beach and enjoy them. So, when planning, these are things that a Cheveria Travel looks into for you and your clients. How accessible is the destination? Can we get you this? What is a travel guide for somebody with a special need? Another person that I met, and her name is Lynn, and she's from, let me get my glasses on. And this was a very interesting thing to learn about, Hidden Disability Store. And they started out in the UK, and this is a program that was started and has continued into the United States. I don't know if you all can see, I am wearing a wristband, and let's see here, can you get it up there, that has sunflowers on it. And this, and I'm going to read from the card, and I plan to have Lynn on my show to talk more about what the Sunflower Project is. And it says, wearing a sunflower lanyard is a way for someone with a hidden disability to discreetly self-identify that they might require extra assistance, patience, kindness, and a little more time, whether it's at the airports, at the hotels, at stores. And I know here in Tampa and the Orlando airport and many of our businesses accept and recognize the sunflower. So, like even myself, I can wear this since I'm legally blind. Some people might not know I'm legally blind because I'm not always using a cane to go inside of the guide because I have some vision. So I might be walking around the store and they can see that instead of ignoring me, they'll say, oh, wow, she's got the sunflower on it. Maybe I can help her, etc. So we plan to have her on in the future as well. So Lynn, if you're listening, please contact me. Other things that we learned about is Morgan's Wonderland is the first fully accessible theme park. It's in Texas. I plan to have the representatives from Morgan's Wonderland also on in the future. And when I say accessible, I mean it's open to everybody. You don't have to be disabled to go to this theme park, but it's inclusive with all those that are blind, wheelchair, or autistic, with the quiet rooms and areas where you could, go and not be as loud, or someplace you could go to relax if your child's having a meltdown or whatever. I have a grandchild who is severely autistic, and I hope my family posts this to him, because I don't think he's on Facebook or anything else, and let him know there are services out there for him and his family. My grandson is a teenager who is severely autistic, and he can't, from what I understand, he doesn't travel because his son is extremely volatile, I guess loud. I don't know because I never met him, and that's hard when you've never met your grandchildren because of a disability. And it's only because maybe parents don't know what's out there for them or how to plan. And I'm going to become certified in autism travel. I'll get you the correct information on the course that I will be taking, but I'm always improving my services and always learning from others. So that being said, there's also, we found that a hotel, there's also in West Virginia, it's also the first accessible hotel, fully accessible hotel. And again, it's not just for people with disabilities, it is for everybody, but it's all inclusive for those people that have a disability. There are many things out there. I still am learning. I still want to get information. There's thousands of places here in the United States and abroad. Uh, Planning abroad might be a little harder than in the United States because even though traveling abroad, many countries have something similar to being compliant with the ADA, but they may do one or two steps better. They may not include the steps, like going to the UK, as I mentioned. The hidden disability store was started in the UK and has flourished throughout many countries in the world. So these are things that are popular. The National Federation of the Blind, which I was a member of for many years. I was president of the Long Island chapter my last year in Long Island. I was president of the Travel and Tourism Division for many years. I'm still involved in some cases, but I am not an official member of the organization or the other blind organizations because I'm not that political anymore. I believe that all blind people have their own opinions about blindness and how they feel and what they want to be called. And some people want to be called visually impaired, some people want to be called blind, some people don't want to be called anything. And each person is different in how they want to travel, their mobility and all that. That being said, I just don't do people with disabilities as well because I was not disabled until I became an adult. So I know both ends of the coin. I'm a grandparent, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, so I do know how to arrange travel and things to ask for people of all different demographics. But mostly I am trying to work with the tour and cruise and anything with our BDMs out there. If you're listening, we really need to get more people into the Travelability Summits, the accessibility expos that happen all across the country. I know there used to be SAT, Society for Accessible Transportation Hospitality. Right now, that's on Facebook. There's so many organizations out there which we need to all come together and work on everybody because travel is a joy. It's an experience. It's a learning experience, a mind-growing experience. And I look forward to working with many of you in the future. Please leave your comments and concerns. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which will be indicated on the Facebook comments, or if you're on YouTube, it'll be up there shortly. And it's also going to be on Spreaker.com, which is carried also on iHeartRadio. So share the wealth, because the more we share, the more people know about travel, education, what's out there, and more. I just want to leave you guys with some travel news with the cruise lines. Number one, if you're not fully vaccinated, don't book a cruise. There's too many things out there going on. Many people who have gone and even gotten on ships have been physically removed because they found out later that they weren't fully vaccinated. If you're not fully vaccinated at the time of cruise, your cruise will be canceled. You will be asked not to come. So that's to be thought of. Make sure you get travel insurance, highly recommended, especially with COVID. You never know what's going to happen. As well as a passport. That being said, also the CDC announced another level 4 for countries that cruise lines may not enter, and your cruise might have to change their itineraries or being canceled altogether. You heard back in August that the Bahamas and St. Martin, now the U.S. Virgin Islands are not allowing ships or people into port unless you're fully vaccinated. Also, Aruba and St. Lucia have been added to the list, as well as Curacao and Martinique. So keep listening here for destinations that are they change your itinerary, your cruise, your travel plans. Echeverry Travel can be found on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as well as LinkedIn. To plan your travel needs, you can contact me at 407-910-6469 or 631-456-5394. Please set up a consultation with me. I will send an access form that's fully accessible to help me ask questions about your trip, where you want to go, what you want to do, what you've done in the past, and so much more. So you can also reach me on Facebook Messenger. I will probably just send you the links to the forums and dates and times that we could chat at your convenience, and so much more. So until next week, God bless, good luck. Oh yeah, I have to, an announcement. I should have did this first. Nelson and I will be doing a full day ship tour of the new Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady on September 27th. I have been wanting to look at the new Richard Branson cruises, the Virgin Voyages, and for those of you that are dyslexic, Richard Branson is severely dyslexic, so he has a disability, and I hope to reach out to their access team to get more involved with their access of the ships. So let's see how that goes. I have had interviewed Julia Glick in the past for Virgin Voyages, and you can find that video either on my Facebook page over at Echeverry Travels or on my YouTube channel. Again, comment. We love to hear from you. Enjoy the day. God bless.